What communication mistakes create implied employment contracts? Imagine working at a company 4 years and believing your job is secure because of something your boss said. That's how implied employment contracts can form. They happen when words or actions lead employees to think certain employment terms are guaranteed, even if no written contract says so. One common mistake is when employers make verbal promises about job security. For example, telling an employee they will keep their job as long as they perform well can be seen as a promise of ongoing employment. If the employee relies on that, it might create an implied contract. Another mistake is giving inconsistent or vague messages about how and why someone can be fired. If a boss hints that employees will only be let go for cause or after warnings, workers might believe they are protected from arbitrary dismissal. These mixed signals can lead to a reasonable expectation of job stability. Employee handbooks or policies can also cause implied contracts if they are not clear about employment being at will. If the handbook describes procedures for discipline or termination but does not explicitly state that the employment can be ended at any time, employees might think those policies are binding promises. Positive feedback during performance reviews can be another communication trap. If a manager praises an employee and suggests their job is secure based on performance, the worker might interpret that as a guarantee of continued employment. Without clarifying that employment remains at will, this can create an implied contract. Failing to include clear disclaimers about at-will employment in offer letters or during hiring is also problematic. When employers do not specify that employment can be ended at any time, employees may assume they are protected from termination unless specific reasons are given. Lastly, conflicting messages from different supervisors can confuse employees. If one manager says they are safe from being fired and another hints at possible dismissal, employees might reasonably believe their employment is protected beyond what at-will law allows. From a legal point of view, these communication errors can turn an at-will employment relationship into one where the employer must follow certain procedures or have just cause before firing someone. This can lead to wrongful termination claims if the employer does not honor the implied promises. To prevent this, employers should always use clear language that emphasizes employment is at will in all communications. Including explicit disclaimers in handbooks and offer letters helps. It's also wise to avoid making promises about job security and to train managers on how to communicate employment terms carefully. Knowing these common communication mistakes helps employers manage the employment life cycle better and avoid unintentional legal obligations that could complicate their employment contracts.